Okay, so it's time for another Q&A. I don't think I need to make a post on Facebook or anything in the future because I get plenty of questions on YouTube. So if you want to ask a question in the future, just post a comment on my YouTube videos and I'll try to either reply to them or make a video addressing the question. So there's a lot of questions asked in my diet video, so I think I'll go over them first. So the first question is, do you feel you have more energy eating this type of food compared to your old diet? To be honest, I feel the exact same as I did before I started a vegan diet. Like I think a lot of vegans like to exaggerate the health benefits. It's a healthy diet for sure, but it's nothing like magical compared to a diet with small amounts of animal products, like excluding processed meat, of course. A lot of people actually have less energy when they start this diet, but that's mainly because they aren't getting enough calories. So it's important you track your food intake and just make sure you're getting enough calories and eating enough micronutrients. I haven't really noticed any benefits or detriments. My blood test results were pretty much perfect before I started the diet, and they were the same after. But I did notice my blood pressure decreased slightly. But this is just anecdotal. Of course, there are health benefits to adding more fruits and vegetables to your diet. Of course, a lot of people were asking me as well, why did I switch over to a vegan diet? And I really try to avoid this question in real life because it's a very sensitive topic. But I'll give you my reason. I really just switched over for the ethical reasons. I just slowly learned that there was no good argument against veganism, like not even a single one. Like I even tried to find a good argument against it, and I just couldn't find one. And even now, I like to find a good argument against veganism just to show I'm not biased, but I really can't find one. Next question, Clarence, how did you first get started into a plant-based diet? What got you into becoming vegan? I was just randomly going through YouTube, and I think I came across a video from the Vegan Atheist, and a few videos from Think About This, criticizing meat eaters. And then I came across a channel called Unnatural Vegan, and I watched a lot of her videos criticizing other vegans, and I just got hooked into watching a lot of YouTube videos about veganism. And well, after researching a lot, I just slowly changed my diet. So next question, what's your cardio training if there is any? I actually do a small bit of low intensity cardio because there are health benefits you get from cardio that you don't get from strength training. I usually just try to find excuses to do some cardio because mentally it's just easier for me to do. I try to cycle everywhere instead of driving because I just find it quite boring to be on a stationary bike or treadmill. Do you often do tricking? I don't really trick that much at all. On average, I probably trick once every 2 months, and when I'm taking it easy with weightlifting, I do it more often. It's very difficult to excel at two sports at the same time. A lot of people are impressed that I can do both tricking and weightlifting at the same time, but the truth is I just managed to maintain a decent level of tricking since I became a weightlifter. I was actually doing higher level tricks in the past, but I think my basics look a lot better and they're more powerful than before. Next question. How does one start training the stuff he does in the second half of the video? And he's referring to the tricking. The best resource for learning to trick is definitely Jujimufu's website, Acrobatics. There's a ton of articles on how to start tricking and lots of tutorials. I'll put a link in the description. There's also a ton of YouTube videos to check out. Is it okay to front squat instead of back squat if I'm interested in weightlifting? I hate back squatting and love the front squat. For most people, the front squat is a much more taxing exercise than the back squat. So I would definitely recommend for most people to train the back squat twice as often as the front squat. It really comes down to body structure as well. Some people can find doing front squats comfortable and some don't. Like me, for example, when I was in Poland, I was doing front squats 8 times per week. Even though I really adapted to doing it and it corrected a lot of my strength imbalances, it also put a lot of pressure on my lower back and injured my knees further. So for me and the majority of people, I think the best thing to do is use back squats to increase your front squat instead of doing front squats alone. So front squats should be added to your program to improve your full clean form and prevent strength imbalances. that will happen if you just do back squats. Do you do any accessory movements or just Olympic lifts, squat, bench? I do them mainly for injury prevention, not really for hypertrophy. Probably the one I do most often is weighted back extensions, because I find it really strengthens my lower back for squats and deadlifts. I think a lot of weightlifters all of a sudden just started incorporating this exercise in the past few years, but it really is a good exercise. Another exercise I do quite often is rear delt flies, especially when I'm trying to increase my bench press. There are a few other exercises I do, but these are the main ones, and I definitely don't do them as often. What's your bench frequency actually? At the moment I have big goals in the bench press, so I'm doing the Small Off Junior bench program. So I'm benching 4 times per week. I did this program multiple times, and every time I've added at least 7.5 to 10 kilos onto my bench. I think I do have a lot of potential in the bench press because around the time I actually started weightlifting and going to the gym in general, the bench press was actually my best exercise. But then I dropped it because I wanted to focus more on Olympic lifting. Do you squat every day? If yes, what does it look like in terms of daily planning for volume and intensity? Also, what squatting frequency would you recommend for someone squatting 155 kilos to make more consistent gains? I squat heavy almost every day, but this varies massively throughout the year. Like for example, this time last year, I was squatting with moderate weight about 2 or 3 times per week. That was just to maintain my strength levels. But right now I'm squatting heavy almost every day. Last week I pretty much did 5x5 at a heavy weight every day for 4 days. Then I took a day off and repeated something similar. I don't really write a program down, but I do have a good plan laid out in my head, and I do auto-regulate a lot. Like some days I plan for a heavy day and I just warm up, and if it doesn't go so well I just have a light day. Of course, I'm just answering your question, and I would never recommend you do this or anyone do this. The correct squatting frequency really depends on the person. For me personally, if I take 2 days off squatting, my squat will literally drop about 10 to 20 kilos. So through experience I learned that I need to have a very high frequency. I've noticed that I can handle a lot of volume in the squats compared to most people, and I don't really respond well to doing heavy singles unless I'm trying to maintain my strength or peak for 1 or max. There's a guy before that told me that squatting once per week was enough, just because some top level powerlifters only squat once or twice per week. But this wouldn't really work for a beginner or intermediate lifter. Since an advanced lifter would be lifting a much greater load, so it's much more taxing on the body. I would say if you're squatting 155 kilos and have been training for around 2 years, squatting at least 3 days a week should be enough. Squatting 6 or 7 days a week would only make a small percent difference, and it would only increase your chances of injury. If you're a weightlifter, I would say at least 4 times a week is enough, with 1 heavy or moderate front squat session and 1 light back squat session. Okay, so that's the end of the video, and also if you've seen my recent video, I had a live stream my training session. Unfortunately the comment section was pure cancer, so I decided to set up a Patreon account to put up live streams. I'll also put up training videos a few times every month, so if you're interested, the details are on my Patreon page.